It's the Cable
We just did a kind of a control-y deck. I was hoping to do something a bit more aggro than pack one, pick one, mana drain. Yeah, obviously mana drain and Urza Saga are the two options, but I kind of want to do not that, so I'll draft something else. I'm going to be angling for the sacrifice deck, and then just like ideally have a Witherbloom Apprentice combo that I can backdoor into. Tendrils? God, I hope not. Oh man, mana drain into flash. Witherbloom combo. Chain of Smog. You self-target, and then copy it over and over and drain the opponent out. Typically, it's at its best when surrounded with a bunch of discard and tutors. Speaking of discard, there's a Mind Twist there. It's also a Stitcher's Supplier. If I was thinking about bombardment stuff, which I still am. I wonder if we could have a Lurrus deck. Like we just had a Zerda deck. It'd be kind of fun to go Zerda into Lurrus. A lot of the best sack outlets are 3 mana, though. Well, this pack makes it look like black isn't open. A little Fire Covenant action, maybe. Maybe the Imperial Seal was appropriate. Ooh, speaking of appropriate. I just like Spike Quarter with Bombardment. Interpreter would have been sick, too. A little Epicure action. Could have an Unearthed deck. OCT announced they're touring Canada and Europe. Who is OCT? Oh, the Clogs band, sure. Hey, have a good capitalism, D-Mills lead. Hope you have an excellent capitalism. Really gotta stop shuffling cards while I'm sitting here. I can tell that it's like bothering my wrist, but I only notice once it starts bothering my wrist. I'm gonna have to deal with wrist pain for a bit. I guess I'm grabbing Fiery Confluence. Maybe I should be grabbing Wayfinder. Yeah, the issue is I think we're fighting somebody else for the black sacrifice stuff, so maybe that's not going to work out. What cube synergies does Gargadon have? Balance and Titania? There's also just the sacrifice deck that I said I was angling for. Hello, Moxjet. Hell of a pack, For me, there's Mayhem Devil, Super Shredder, and Vista here. All, like, kind of equally valuable. I guess I don't have to be green. And then the mana's a lot better, and then I don't need to prioritize Vista. I'm going to take Shredder. Red was a lot more open than black. I think there's a chance Mayhem Devil could wheel. We'll see. You love Devil? I also love Devil. It'd play really well here with the Bombardment and Gargadon. Well, Retrofitter is a lot of stuff to sacrifice in one card. You have the Mayhem Daredevil wheels, too, just like looping through the 1/1s. Will give you a lot of pings. The other options here are Urborg or Wasteland, maybe. I want to take that Retrofitter. Might be a little too dirtily, but I'll try it out. Sagemore Witch is another potential Smog combo card. I'm going to take Sephiroth here. My opponent flipped a Sephiroth against me the other day, and it looked nasty. I like swept their board, and then they were able to infinite combo me with the emblem later anyway. I think Dark Ritual does a lot here in terms of declunkifying the old deck. Yeah, Library and Inquisition will also be great. I'm going to take Carrion Feeder over Death Greeters. Hopefully we'll find some stuff to sacrifice. Well, there's a sacrifice card. Fruwala discards to Inti or Carnage Interpreter. I don't think that's quite enough. Let's grab this Oliphant card. If only Smog would have showed up. I'm pretty cool not playing the Chain of Smog combo. Wasn't that invested. Hey, Mayhem came back. Awesome. Pack 3, what's our best open here? Probably Mox Ruby. Might be able to use a Mox Ruby better than a Black Lotus. Black Lotus is pretty great, though. There's the best card of Magic. Ancestral Recall. There's some black cards that didn't wheel pack 1, Strabins. Like the 1-mana 1/1 that mills 3 when it comes into play, and stuff like that you would play in this archetype. And not much else. The reason that black was more open in pack 2 was because we were passing to the right, the stone opposite direction. So if me and people to the right of me cut black in pack 1, black was going to look open in pack 2, because there's not going to be a black drafter for at least 3 seats to the left of me. People miss that a lot, and people think of the table as a whole table instead of directions and such. Legion Extruder. It's not a lot of artifacts to sack here. A lot of wheels to come around. Like what? Nethergoyf? No Mox Ruby. Horse shit. Alright. The gut seems pretty good. My day is going well. Thank you, Blackfire. Yeah, I kind of always want Legion Extruder to be on if it's around. But you're right, there's a few random artifacts. The Epicure, the Carnage Interpreter, and such. I just don't think it's enough. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. That Phyrexian Tower would be a sick wheel. We're going to take Ragavan here. I'm going to take Soul Cauldron for the sideboard. I was so happy I got to see this band. I'm gonna grab that Dam. Having a removal spell might be useful. A Badlands would indeed be sweet. I think Black Red's open too. And that's how we were able to wheel the Mayhem double last pack. Black Red in particular, we should be able to see some lands. Is this what a good sack deck looks like in Cube? Maybe. We certainly have a lot of nice pairings. Ooh, a Pyrogoyf. Yeah, still a lot of picks left. I'm not gonna say we nailed it while the pie is still cooking, right? Gall actually kind of good with Bloodghast. Mind Twist is cuttable. It is. It's pretty reasonable with his Dark Ritual. DJ Murder says they just started playing Dave the Diver because I saw it on my stream. Oh, very fun. Yeah, Dave the Diver is a sick fucking game. I got like, I don't know how deep I got into it. It felt like I was like halfway through or something where it became kind of unstreamable. Because there was just like so many mini games and stuff. And you would jump from one to one. And people coming into the stream, you'd have to like, it was like impossible to explain what the game was even. There's so much random shit. We don't have the green mana for Chain of Smog. Hey, the tower came back. Nice. Probably board that Mind Collapse in at some point. It does keep it fresh. Yeah. It is good for the gameplay. Bad for streaming, good for the gameplay. Mark's asking about the modern one. Yeah, Warren's Soul Trader. Yeah, we didn't get the Gravecrawler business here. You could cut a card to keep it 17 mana sources, but with the Dark Ritual here and a relatively tight curve, I think I'm just going to jam this. So close. Deck's like multiple colors of mana. Fuck you. Alright, fair enough. Oh, put mountains in the deck. Yeah, that's what I forgot. Some fetches would have been good with the Mayhem Devil as well. Never punished. I fucking mulled the 5. What do you mean never punished? Yeah, I ain't. It'd be funny you sack the Mox Jet, then they block, and you sack the Gut and the token to have a 3/3 carrion feeder. Got me. Feels like I need to answer this DRC. Alright, what's my worst shit? Probably Mind Twist. The curve's pretty aggressive. Bloodghast can't block. It is good fodder for the carrion feeder, though. Try that out. They do have a braid, so they might be able to answer this retrofit aim. I'm gonna try and get a little bit of value out of it first. You can dash a van, but then they bolt. You're in a rough spot. They're discarding. Into Chandra. Yeah, when they passed with 2 up, I figured a Braid was coming. Smock's Jet was great, because even if the Ragavan hit whiffs, then we'll be able to play a 4-drop here. Power Glyph's a 3-4. Yeah, as much as I like Currency Converter, I think we just want to up the old aggression. Putting on mono red control over there. There were a lot of people that helped popularize Delver in Standard. Joseph Flora. I think you're talking about Strong Sad, who is Todd Anderson. He is not a name that I would associate with Delver. I did play Delver in the very first SCG 5K that you could play it in. I think they're going to have an answer to my Ragavan here. Interesting. Makes me wonder why they Furied, huh? Yeah, I started with a blue-red build because I like the idea of having burn spells next to my Delvers. Embarrassingly, I did not play the full playset of Ponders in that very first list. But yeah, I would say it's like not unfair to give me some credit for popularizing Delver. And then some working on the iterations as Delver changed. I put up some strong finishes with interestingly tuned decks, to put it lightly. I remember I top 8'd a SCG Invitational. Those fields were like kind of tough. I top 8'd an SCG Invitational with Consecrated Sphinx in my Delver deck. And my reasoning was, if my Consecrated Sphinx was castable, it was my best card by far against like the control decks or really anybody. And if it wasn't castable, it meant that the rest of my deck was working. If you played enough cantrips, you're going to hit your land drops. And I took that strategy and I used it with the 18 land version too. Not with Consecrated Sphinx, but I played a single 5-mana Gideon in that build. And I played it in a field of pod decks, and the Gideon was very good for me. Won that PDQ. And then in Modern, I played a lot of blue-red Delver and did something similar there, where I was just like main decking Batterskull. It was pretty useful for grinding through the Jund decks of that era. That was a long time ago, as you can imagine. Did you cast it? Yeah, you just cast it. Considering that both Fairies and Delver didn't play Max Ponders. Oh, Delver absolutely played Max Ponder. I was talking about my own personal misbuild on day 1. But Delver always played Max Ponder. That was not a sticking point in the deck. Everyone agreed. That said, people didn't play Thought Scour. The difference between the 23 land version of Delver and the 18 land version was the 18 land version played Forge, Ataxian Probe, and 4 Thought Scour. And it took me... the first time I saw that version of the deck, Adam Prozac was playing it. and I played against him in the top 8 of a 5K, and I beat him. I beat him with Pod. I don't think I would have beaten him, except we played the top 8 there, and then we didn't play the top 4 until the next morning. And I finished my match real quick, went back to the hotel room, and I tested the matchup. I loaded his deck up online and or on my computer and just like jammed against it with my Pod deck. Played a handful of matches and realized like, okay, so I win if I land Thalia. It's like clearly my most important card, and he wins if he gut shots my Thalia or Phantasmal Images it. Then his deck gets to work. Because again, 18 land max cantrips, right? Not good against Thalia. And that was like the whole matchup in my test. And so then in the games that we played in the top 4, I was just like aggressively mulliganing, not keeping a, even though if the hand looked reasonable, I was like, nope, looking for Thalia, let's go. And in game 3, he didn't have an answer to Thalia, and I got to take it down. But who knows if I would have. Thought about Dark Ritualing out Torture Pit here, actually. But then, like, what happens if you just never hit lane number 4? Phantasmal Image killing Thalia feels old. It was very old, yeah. Or Thrun. That was always sick. The other one. Oh, I would have had the land. If they don't kill me, I think I'm good here. No Fury, okay. Wait, did I fuck up? No, that's right. Behind me. These are Maze 109 Pros. Best headphones I've ever had. They're so good and comfy. They're so damn comfy. And I really like that I can use them just by themselves with my cell phone or what have you. They don't need a power booster. It's really nice if I want to like play something, listen to something while I play on my drum kit. Hey, Dukowski, thanks for the sub. Thanks for 77 months. I am in the same room, and I did not redecorate Saw. My computer is simply pointing at a different wall. Yeah, they don't need an amplifier. Yep. Amplifier was the word my brain was struggling to come up with. And instead I said power thingy. Too bad this is opponent controls, huh? We're gonna make them exile their own candelabra. I was hoping to discard the blood gas, then land drop it back into play. Could have been cool. Oh, fun, Fuzznuts. Yeah, let me spin flames. Opponent's got some fucking mana to work with. Fiery Confluence. I don't really have any artifact hate. I didn't even grab the 2/2 that like domes them for the number of artifacts they have. I thought about it. I was like, what are the odds? What are the odds I'm going to need an artifact hoser? Silly me, aim. Oh yeah, retired landlord. I take your comment as a compliment, but it is funny. Love your content. Always puts me to sleep. Show and tell, doesn't seem good for me. I assume whatever they're putting into play is better than a Bloodghast. Oh, I should have sacked to the Gargadon, huh? When the portal was on the stack. Are there cards better than Bloodghast? Apparently. Tendrils? Okay. For 4. I gotta say, I've seen better Tendrils. Really regretting missing the Bloodghast sack there. You gotta admit, it is a large Gargadon. Wondering if I should run this gut out, or... I guess the scary thing is if they played a sweeper, then we wouldn't have anything to work with. Yeah, let's just... Well, but if you just pass... Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. We'll just pass. The greatest Gargadon, right? Pretty zesty. Holy shit. I can't fucking believe that worked. I was like, well, fucking Gargadon in, let's go. Wow. I thought there was like no fucking chance we were gonna win that one. Garged so hard. That was about as hard as a person can Garg, right? Always sacrifice every land. I should have been able to keep a land. I almost like this, despite only having one color. I'm gonna send it back though. You think Magic might be the most complex game created? Just because of like the sheer volume of game pieces. I think Magic is the most complicated game ever made because I've played it a long time and I'm good at it. And it makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm a smarty pants if I say that Magic's the hardest game. The relentless hunter lives the way he dies. Luckily, the show and tell for Portal kind of sucked. The show and tell for Portal kind of let me win, right? It let me get my Bloodghast down, so I had enough permanents to sack to my Gargadon. I would have been short otherwise. You think kickboxing is harder than Magic? Oh, you're super wrong. Yes, kick someone. How hard could that be? Everyone could kick somebody. Someone without legs. I mean, they make artificial legs. Oh man, that's gonna slow me down. Because I need to damn it, and I would love to be corridor torture pitting. Can't let the untap with gadgets here. It just translates to too many cards, I think. Does that count? Kicking someone with an artificial leg? Of course it does. How is that a question? Oh, they missed their opportunity to sack their clue there. MPTs, like, literally win foot races. I guess it was good. The balance was about to do that anyway. This is alright, though. They've got one card in hand. I've got 2 lands I don't mind bidding. They actually have to sack a land here. Maybe that's why they didn't want to crack their clues. They wanted to stay at a lower hand count. Balances mind rot. This Spiked Corridor Torture Pit with this Phyrexian Tower is actually, like, a very fast clock. Left unrepelled. Speaking of games that are, like, hard and stuff, I've heard it said that Man is the most dangerous game. But that's ridiculous. What about Tightrope Water Polo? Oh, I think I meant to sack one of the tower there. The most dangerous game, Knife Monopoly. How is Knife Monopoly played? Answer very carefully. The game has ended. Hey, we're in the finals here. How about that? That's a good start, though. And this deck does not want to service up 2 colors, does it? You're in one of the pictures in that article, are you? You unicycle hockey? Oh, sure, Mana Baron, yeah. You know what they say? Don't bring Monopoly pieces to a knife fight. They say that, right? Yeah, surely they say that. You unicycle hockey every Thursday? Every Thursday? That's a dedicated group. Do you play, like, random teams? Or do people, like, draft like it's high school? Or is there, like, a unicycle hockey league? The same pickup group? I think I need to get that Tameo off the board if I can. Mind Twisting was tempting, though. Well, now I kind of want... Now there's, like, a reason to learn both unicycle and hockey. Combining them is way more interesting than both of them separate. You had never played hockey before you started it? This is your creation? There's some good fucking photos in this. Look at this action shot. Local news photographer getting their earning their keep here. Can you bet on unicycle hockey? That's how you know it's a real sport, is if you can bet on it. Unicycling's pretty hard. I've seen people unicycle like while juggling and doing comedy routines, so it can't be that hard. I also assume that juggling and comedy are easy if you can do them while unicycling. Oh, I live off of ads, liminal. If I can pay a service to not have ads, like YouTube Premium or Twitch, I'll do that. But some years back, I decided I didn't want to use uBlock. Then when you get like used to it and it like doesn't work and shit, and you have to like get a different fucking uBlock, and it's fucking annoying. More work than scrolling past an ad or two. Well, I assume that I'm fucked. I don't care, Magic Man. I mean, good. I'm glad it works well for you. I don't understand why someone would hear my explanation and then continue to try and sell me on it. Yet, believe it or not, as a 38-year-old man who, again, needs ad revenue to live, I'm very aware that ad block is an option. I don't know why you would think that I would not know, or why that would not be insulting to me. Dark mode. People's eyes are different. The biggest con for dark mode for me is that it gives me a fucking headache, and it makes it harder to read. And people are like, "Oh my god, light mode!" And it's like, yeah. Why on earth would you try and sell me on something that gives me a headache? But people have tried. People have tried so hard. It's like everyone's got first person. Like everyone thinks they're the main character of the universe, and they have a really hard time picturing that somebody else has a different lived experience than them. You're like, you gotta try this cheesecake, and the person's like, I'm allergic to dairy. I'll be sick for a day. I'll be like fucking shitting my brains out if I eat that. You gotta try. Oh my god, you gotta try this cheesecake. How can you not like cheesecake? It makes me shit myself. Oh my, you know, etc. Hey, is it a Z? Thanks for the sub. Thanks for the 14 months. I gotta say, I am enjoying watching my super shredder grow as the opponent kills me. Says the guy with the political message next to your face. Yeah. I also run ads, believe it or not. Why wouldn't I sponsor my own stream? How much of a sellout would I be to like make money off of ad revenue? How much of a coward would I be to then also not state my own opinion? There's a bunch of websites that are unusable without ad blockers. Yeah, but I just wouldn't use those. If they like made the mistake of making their website unusable, then that's on them. Everything is political. That's true. Yeah, non-political statements, choosing to not make a political statement, also political, believe it or not. But in a way that supports the status quo. So in order to kill that 2/2, I guess we have Discharge and maybe Fireball. I feel miserable having Fireball in against this opponent, though. Oh, we got Covenant. Covenant's fine. I don't get political as a political statement. Right, yeah. A statement of pure privilege, if there ever was one. Collapse. Collapse costs 4 mana on the opponent's turn. It's a little clunky. Well, we actually have both colors of mana in our opener, which makes this hand tempting, even though it's really not very good. Sure, we can turn to the Carnage Interpreter. Well, politics does you, baby. Yeah, not really a choice we get, right? Perhaps a more convincing attack if I do it before I play out the Carnage Interpreter. Oh, I took the damage. Yeah, I'd actually argue that resenting a streamer voicing a political opinion goes back to that main character syndrome thing. Like I was talking about trying to convince a specific person, an individual, even after they'd given you a reason why they wouldn't like something, and not being able to understand that because it doesn't fit with your own lived experience. An entertainer, a streamer, is not streaming just for you. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of eyeballs on them. And then, of course, they also have to live with themselves in their own way. But if you think you are the world's most specialist person, then you might get mad that they disagree with you. Your rancid takes that you specifically are not being catered to. The people that are most impacted by that are people that are the most used to being catered to as well. Huh. If we crack a clue and don't hit a land, then the Carnage shrinks. We could serve with it first and then crack a clue and trying to hit. I'm just going to run out the Bombardment. I'm just going to do that. Get my little attack in here. Right, humanity. Politics they disagree with. They're like, I don't like it when people get political. Politics they agree with goes like completely unnoticed. Because again, it's like feeding into their what they're used to, what they like. They're being reaffirmed. People love to be reaffirmed. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I do wish people were more self-aware. You love being firm? Cards, please. I'd like to get the Gargadon down, but I'm gonna do this. And I think we're in a spot where we need to let them draw with Palantir. You don't read Fuck Ice and Fuck War is political? Oh, I do. Unfortunately. Growing up in the States, like forming my high school's chapter of Students Against War, traveling to DC to protest. That all felt very political. Trying to convince people why they should care about people from other countries, unfortunately, felt very political. I wonder if I should crack a clue or just suspend this Gargadon. I think I'm just going to crack the clue. Possible I should have just run out gut here. I think there's a good chance that I'm winning off of this bombardment, though. I think that's the sitch. Was I in DC for Iraq? Yes. And Afghanistan. That was a much smaller protest. Tamio Uptikin. Opponent's avatar. It's the 2 white 3/4 that blinks out all your stuff, and you can airbend it back. You bet Appa eats cheesecake? I bet so. Oh, they milled my blood gas? That's funny. If I lead on gut, it plays around miscalc. They don't have a hard counter spell up. I guess I lead on it. No More Lies would counter it regardless. No, they've got a thing. Do I sack to ping them down to 4? Oh, no, I don't. The Tamio shrinks the blood gas, so I wouldn't get any damage in. Interesting that the tanking on this block. I think there's a very good chance we die here. We'll see. If I was going to use one word to describe the chat community I've cultivated over the past decade, what would it be? One word, aim. Cromulent. I try to call folks that harsh the vibe, like that one. Cultivated. Cultivated's a good word. Dio and Blackmore were so good. And if Richie Blackmore had paid him more, he might have stayed with Rainbow. But Dio's solo work was also awesome, so maybe it was for the best. One's got a lot of mana floating. They also have that Candelabra there. Basically infinite mana, Are questions about my perspective on American politics okay? Yeah, so long as they're questions in good faith. Shoot Liminal. A Curdle of Curmudgeons. I kind of dig that. As a New Zealander, it's hard to get one's head around the 2024 U.S. election result. So in a big picture thing, there was worldwide inflation going on. And I misspoke on this like semi-recently and said that no incumbents won national elections, and that was wrong. It was 70% of incumbents lost their elections during worldwide inflation. Over 70%. So it's hard for me to not see that as the largest factor. And then the you can like talk about the mistakes that the Biden and Kamala campaigns made. Like the whole thing started as such a boondoggle, right? With Biden running and then pulling off and stuff, and then people had to campaign for Kamala, despite the fact that she hadn't won the primary. It was like a shit show. But more important than that, I think, was the messaging referring to the worldwide inflation. Biden's campaign was like, it's all right, it's recovering, it's going to naturally recover over the next few years, we have all the data. And that's just like not something that's going to resonate with the American people. The American people are like not that informed. Most people don't have the fucking time to be informed, right? You really have to be clear. And Trump came out and said, I'm going to make changes. I'm going to lower grocery prices, all that stuff. And that's just like way better messaging. We're only at 9. Maybe those pings should be going at my face, huh? Like they have more than 9 mana in play. Sacking also gives them a ping, but whatever. Kamala's stance on Gaza sucked. Yeah. And that matters because the Dems win when they get their base out. And that repressed the base a bit. You gotta give people something that people can be excited about. The fucking, I was skeptical how much that had an influence on things. But the fact that Kamala came out and, like, said that it did, said that was, like, one of her big mistakes in her campaign, and then also, the Dems did, like, their own analysis of the election, and they seemed to think that it was a big factor. You have some friends campaigning for Kamala, and they all agree that nobody they canvassed knew what her policy was. Right, and that, again, goes back to messaging. Very hard to, like, be a loyal vice president, because that's apparently a thing that she felt was important. And then also say, here's what I would do different. Here's the changes I would make. Here's how I would improve on things. Kind of self-shackled there. More money than sin. Like, she put her face up on the fucking Vegas sphere. They're going face with Mayhem Devil at this point. That's a win. We don't have to make them do all this. 7 mana is going to equal enough pings. Close it out.